What's up, y'all, and welcome back to CountryCast. Today we are going to take an in-depth look back into one of country music's most entertaining and charismatic artists, the one, the only, Mr. Blake Shelton. Many may argue that Blake Shelton broke away from his traditional country sound and roots as he got further along into his career. But honestly, in my opinion, Blake Shelton is one of the most realist artists in the industry and figures throughout the entertainment business. There is no doubt that Shelton is highly opinionated, and even though his sound may have changed to some degree, I don't think his personality has changed one bit. Along with his incredible album and singles catalog, his humor and not give a damn attitude brought a certain element to his career that helped shape him into one of the most beloved stars, not only in country music, but the entire music industry. Now, like many other artists, Blake has met his fair share of trials and tribulations along the way, which we will get to a little later on in this video. But with his perseverance and hard work, he still remains relevant today and has secured the accolades to one day land himself into the Country Music Hall of Fame. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Blake Shelton's roller coaster of a journey. Blake Tollison Shelton was born on June 18, 1976, in a little town in Oklahoma known as Ada. He is the son to Dorothy Ann and Richard Lee Shelton. Blake's mother owned a beauty salon and his father worked as a used car salesman. His parents not only lived a busy work schedule, but had a busy home life as well, raising Blake and his three other siblings, his sister Indy, his brother Richie, and half-brother Ronnie, from his mother's previous marriage. Sadly, Blake's brother Richie passed away at the age of 24 years old, and at the time, Blake was only 14. And in just a moment, as we navigate through Blake's childhood, we will get to the tragic and highly impactful time in Blake's life. Blake's passion for music started at a very young age, and he took up singing before hitting his teen years. Blake Shelton has mentioned before that he was a huge fan of classic country, and some of his favorite artists were Earl Thomas Conley, Conway Twitty, and George Strait. Blake's brother Richie Shelton, who was also a country music singer-songwriter, also played a major role in what inspired Blake to pursue a career in country music. As I stated earlier, Richie Shelton tragically passed away at the age of just 24 years old on November 13, 1990, when Blake was only 14 years old, which was a critical time as Blake was formulating his style and plan into music. Richie passed after he, his girlfriend, and her 3-year-old son were involved in a fatal car accident. Richie's girlfriend was driving the vehicle when she rear-ended the back of a school bus, which was stopped picking up passengers. As a result of the crash, Richie, his girlfriend, and her son all passed away. Even though this was a very personal and tragic time in Blake's life, he has spoke out on his brother's passing and detailed just how much of an influence he really was to him. Shelton interviewed in 2018 with Cowboys and Indians magazine where he said, "Look, you're never going to get over it. For me, my brother was my big brother. I mean, I wanted to be him. I wanted to look like him, dress like him, listen to what he listened to, and be into the things that he was into. So when he was killed in a car accident, it was literally like the world went silent. There was a void in my world all of a sudden, and I'm still not over it. I'm just used to it." And real quick, before we continue on, Miranda Lambert's song Over You was co-written with Blake Shelton, and the song came to life with inspiration from the passing of his brother Richie Shelton. Very tough to deal with something of that magnitude at such a young age. Now, getting back to it, throughout Blake's younger days, he honed in on his singing skills by entering pageants, but not at his discretion. His mother Dorothy entered him into a few pageants to showcase his talent, and even though it did benefit Shelton, he was not a fan. According to Taste of Country in a since-deleted video from CMT, Blake told CMT, "My mom entered me into a pageant when I was 6 or 7 years old. I still don't know why, and it's still the worst experience of my life being in a pageant. That has to have been the first one, and I can't remember because she put me in like 2 or 3 in a row there, and I remember singing Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent and Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. They were probably my 2 signature songs." Blake, if you are seeing this, please post pictures and videos of those pageant acts. I think fans will agree that we need to see this ASAP. Now, jumping to when Blake Shelton turned 15 years old, the age in which Blake learned to play guitar from his uncle and really began to have hope on becoming a country music star. Shelton was a bit apprehensive on if his dream would actually come true, since he lived in a small town in Oklahoma. But during a guest appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he shared that because of Garth Brooks and Reba McEntire being from the same area in Oklahoma as Blake, gave him the hope that he needed to continue to work towards his end goal. As Shelton kept working and pushing towards his career in music, not only did he learn guitar by 15 years old, he also wrote his song at the same age. During Blake Shelton's time in high school, he performed throughout the state of Oklahoma, and boy did it pay off. After several performances, Blake Shelton was provided with the highest entertainment honor for youth within the state of Oklahoma, the Denbo Diamond Award, and not only did he receive the highest honor, but during one of his performances, he grabbed the attention of Mae Axton, a highly established songwriter. Blake was eager to get his music career started. However, he finished out high school and graduated from Ada High School in 1994. He did skip out on college, but made the big move to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee instead. What's really awesome is that Mae Axton resided in Tennessee as well and played a vital role in getting Blake's career started. She was able to hook Blake up with a job to help fund his move, where he painted houses within the area. Axton also connected Shelton with folks in the country music industry. Blake eventually landed a job at a music publishing company, and rumor has it that he lost the job after speaking with the songwriters. But after a few years, Blake met with country music legend Bobby Braddock, Country Music Hall of Fame songwriter and producer. After connecting with Bobby Braddock in the year of 2001, Blake Shelton signed with Giant Records, where some very interesting and great things took place for Shelton. Once signed to Giant Records, Blake Shelton was actually intending on releasing his first ever single. You may know it. The song is called I Wanna Talk About Me. You may be thinking, wait a minute, that's not Blake Shelton, that's actually Toby Keith. And well, you would be right. Toby Keith ended up getting the song after label executives for Giant Records claimed that the song was not worthy of being the lead-off single for Blake's first album. Well, that backfired a bit, because I Wanna Talk About Me turned out to be a #1 hit for Toby Keith. But what's wild is that move that was made by Giant Records, it didn't even have an impact on getting Blake out there to the country music world. Because instead of I Wanna Talk About Me, the decision was made for Blake Shelton to release one of his most famous songs, Austin. I guess you can say the rest is history, and Blake was well on his way to moving into country music as a superstar. It's pretty awesome to think that Blake's debut single became a #1 hit on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart, and it even spent 5 weeks in that position, and it has since went platinum. Now, this same year, Blake released his debut self-titled album, which also featured hits like All Over Me and his cover of George Jones's Old Red. Shelton now claims his cover of Old Red has his signature song. Even though Old Red did not hit the charts in the same way Austin did, I don't think there is one country fan that does not immediately know and recognize Shelton's version. Blake's self-titled debut album has been certified as platinum. Talk about a debut into country music. Shelton followed up his debut self-titled album with his sophomore record, The Dreamer, which was released on February 4th, 2003. The #1 single from The Dreamer was his hit song, The Baby. The Baby held 3 weeks at #1 and is just an exceptional ballad by Shelton. Other singles released from that album did not perform as well as his previous, but even still, The Dreamer has been certified as a gold record. After getting through what is usually known as the hardest album for artists, the sophomore album, Blake went on to release 10 more throughout his career. Blake Shelton's Barn and Grill, Pure BS, Startin' Fires, Red River Blue, Cheers It's Christmas, yes, a Christmas album based on a true story, Bringing Back the Sunshine, If I'm Honest, Texoma Shore, and Body Language, his most recent release. I could talk for hours on each record and each single from those records, but the point is that each album has held major value for Blake Shelton, and he has clearly captured the hearts of country music fans. With over 13 million records sold, 28 number one singles, 52 million singles sold, and currently on just Spotify alone, he has over 8 million streams a month, and multiple albums have reached platinum, double platinum, and even triple platinum. Blake has also ran the table with his awards that he has received through the years, taking home several from not only country music but outside industry awards, and securing 8 nominations for Grammy Awards. The numbers don't lie, and I think it's safe to say he had a dream and he clearly made it happen. And to think that he has balanced 3 marriages during his long and illustrious career as well, which we will get to those in a little bit. But first, there is more highlights to his career. In 2011, in the prime of his music career, he joined as a coach on the hit TV reality singing competition known as The Voice. And again, Blake has found success in doing that, which is pretty funny because before joining the show, Blake had stated before that he hated reality TV. But anyways, he has the most wins out of any coach that has ever been on the show, bringing in a total of 8. And when you talk about a show where Blake is involved, this one is one that really shows off his humor and who he is. And I believe that what we see on the screen is truly who Blake Shelton really is, because he is a pretty funny guy. Blake's dedication clearly shows, as he has been a coach for every season that the show has aired, and that is a total of 21 seasons. Now, what's interesting is that this is actually not Blake's first singing competition show. He was also a mentor on NBC's Clash of the Choirs, a singing competition where Blake Shelton put together a choir to compete against other major artists who had put together their own choirs. That show did not live long, but gave him some experience, as well as Nashville star. He also judged on that competition show in 2007. In that particular year, Angela Hacker took home first place, but the most successful star from that year would have to be Casey Musgraves, who finished 7th. Even with all of this under Shelton's belt, he also decided to start his own franchise of restaurant, bar, and music venue named Ole Red. His first establishment opened in Tishomingo, Oklahoma in 2017, a second in Nashville by 2018, and the most recent in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in 2019. Blake's contributions to country music are astounding, and for Shelton to take his country roots and cross them over into the mainstream is good for the genre. He has built a legacy, and it does not go unnoticed. Another wild fact surrounding Shelton is that he is the only country artist to be invited to join the Grand Ole Opry as a member by way of Twitter. We all know Blake loves Twitter anyways, so why not, right? The Opry's tweet to Shelton read, "Blake Shelton, you're invited to join the Grand Ole Opry. See you on October 23rd back in 2010. Blake, of course, got the message and obliged, and he received his invite from fellow country artist and friend Trace Adkins. One more achievement to add is after a few years from the invitation to the Opry, Blake Shelton also made it into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame in 2014, the highest honor anyone can receive from the state. So again, Blake Shelton has clearly made his statement, and the numbers don't lie, the awards don't lie, and he is very successful, and it is good for country music. Country music is great, and we as fans obviously know that, but Blake is someone in the business that has expanded it to music fans outside of country to embrace and love the genre as well, which again is just excellent for country music. Again, he put in the work for a lot of years and done exceptionally well, but as of late, let's talk about what we have heard and how he is looking to maybe take a step back from some of what he is involved with to enjoy more of his personal life and family time with his wife, Gwen Stefani. And now Blake looks to be in a very healthy and happy place with Gwen. It is no secret, though, that it took some time for Blake to find what he has in his wife. Blake initially married his first wife, Kaynette Williams, back on November 17th, 2003. Williams and Shelton were high school sweethearts, and she even was his road manager before he hit the big time in Nashville. Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted 3 years and ended in 2006. Williams even accused Blake Shelton of guilty inappropriate misconduct during their divorce proceedings. Their divorce was finalized with no issues. However, some rumors circulated that the misconduct was with country star Miranda Lambert. Now, that was never proved to be true, but as most of you know, Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert performed a duet of the song "You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma" by David Frizzell and Shelley West. Now, this duet occurred in 2005, and obviously in 2006, Blake split from his wife and Miranda cut off her previous engagement, and the two became a couple. So some argue that the duet was the spark. Eventually in 2011, Blake and Miranda tied the knot. But again, their marriage did not last long, and it came to an end in 2015. Fans had their own accounts on this marriage as well. TMZ sources were claiming that Miranda cheated on Blake with fellow country artist Chris Young. Young denied the claims. Blake and Miranda released a statement at the time of divorce saying, "This is not the future we envision, and it is with heavy heart that we move forward separately. We are real people with real lives, with real family, friends, and colleagues. Therefore, we kindly ask for privacy and compassion concerning this very personal matter." So, with two powerhouses in the industry, it is not much of a surprise that their schedules and their life at the time were just conflicting, and it just may not have made sense anymore. But now, again, as I said earlier, Blake seems to be right where he has always wanted to be with Gwen Stefani. Blake and Gwen met on The Voice in 2015 and dated for some time before finally getting married on July 3rd of 2021. Blake has spoke about spending more time with Gwen and his family at this point in his career, and at this point, I think it's time to make this happen. In almost a year of marriage, it's evident that Gwen and Blake really connect with one another and enjoy spending time on their ranch in Oklahoma. It has been a long road to say the least for Blake Shelton. But as I stated before, he has navigated his career to find the right balance and preserve his legacy that will live on in the hearts of country fans, and one day will see the Country Music Hall of Fame. Whether it's in a movie, yeah, he's been in tons of movies, TV shows, or on the stage, fans are always all in on whatever Blake is putting out and creating. His fan base is so loyal to him, and he does send that back their way by what he brings to the stage and what he brings to the table with everything that he puts out. So check out Blake Shelton's new album, Body Language, or just pull out an old record and reminisce to some older Blake Shelton. If you also happen to find yourself vacationing in the areas of his old red locations, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, or Tishomingo, Oklahoma, hit those spots as well and show your support to Blake Shelton. Guys, if you have them, we would love to know your favorite album or favorite song by Blake Shelton. And that will be it for today's video. If you are new here to CountryCast, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on as well, so you never miss out on any breaking updates surrounding your favorite country artist and all the news coming right out of Music City. Y'all stay country.